after that, unless, again, you improve the property, make some physical change to it, or if the taxes go down. We'll talk about that in a moment. So, who pays the cost of the tax freeze? Well, it's a local program, so obviously local government's going to bear the cost of administering the program, and they would have foregone tax reduction for the of the program at a point in time. So obviously the state doesn't contribute anything toward the cost of the tax freeze program. We do provide a system for the trustee's office to enter, capture applications, put them in, and then that data gets passed to the assessor's system, which is called Impact. And so the part that the trustee would use is a secure web-based program. You pass that data to the assessor electronically, so that interaction is key to that. That's just an image of kind of the data entry screen for tax-free system. Looks very much like the tax relief system, just a different background color. I think I've got time to go through these examples, but they would, I will provide a PDF of this to so Angela, so she can distribute that. But this sort of gives some examples of how it would work. Where you see that tax amount, that frozen tax amount staying the same. If you have a partial freeze, such as a Greenbelt parcel, the final tax amount could change each year depending on, if there's a tax rate increase or something like that. But that frozen portion would stay the same. It's just the part that's not subject to the freeze that would change. Adjustments to the frozen tax, like we talked about, are for physical changes, and they're done proportionally. This is part of what's in the statute, that adjustment would be proportional to the change in value that might occur because of those improvements. That could be new additions, converting unfinished area to living area, existing improvements newly discovered, splits and combinations, and any other physical changes. So after the first year of the program, applicants must requalify every year. So the budget official would get the next year's income that they would provide and re-verify that, review, make sure they're still living there, still on the property, those types of things. And then the assessor would review what they had done previously on which portions of the property that had something changed on the property. Look at that. In a reappraisal year, I'll give you a quick version of that. The frozen taxes stay the same in the reappraisal. So that's kind of the bottom line of that. So what happens if the property taxes go down? And this sometimes can happen in a reappraisal year. You think, well, that never happens, but say in a reappraisal year it can. Some areas might go up in value more than others. You have an area maybe that stayed, stayed level in value. And if the certified tax rate is adopted, you're going to have some people whose taxes go up, some people whose taxes go down. If that happens to someone on the property tax freeze program, then they always pay the lesser amount. Okay, that's the cardinal rule about that. But in addition to that, the frozen amount gets set at that lower amount, the new lower amount. So that means that if in a subsequent year the taxes go back up, they're sitting at that lower amount, not the original frozen amount, but that lower one that it had gone down to. So that's sort of an example. Somebody who started at $800 as their frozen tax amount, then they hit a year where their taxes went down to $700, maybe through a reappraisal and certified rate and all of that. So they would pay the $700, and then the $700 would become their frozen amount the next year. Then taxes would go above $700, they would still pay $700. There's some annual reporting required relative to tax freeze and this, some final numbers for the year that the legislature usually wants to see. But good news for that is that for counties on the state impact system, where the assessors use the state system, and Angela does, then we can pull those numbers out and capture those. So to sum up, the entire property may or may not be frozen. You may have some mixed use going on. So frozen part is principal residence. In most cases, you know, you have a residential lot, a house on it, you know, there's not a lot of acreage or other uses going on, then the entire tax amount would be frozen on those. So frozen tax amounts are adjusted by the assessor to reflect any physical changes to the property. And then, what was the prime thing I wanted you to remember? It's the tax amount that's frozen. So, there's some contact information for people within our office that assist assessors and trustees administering the program. There's information on our website, on the comptroller website, about tax freeze. So, are there any questions?
So, what's the cost of implementation for something like that for a county?
That's a hard question to answer, and I don't know the answer to that. There's a lot of unknowns. It would have, ultimately, it would have some financial and budget implications for you, and whether that was the second year or 2 or 3 years down the road, it depended upon whether you were having a tax rate increase.
Well, I was more inclined to rethink around the idea, is it's going to cost us more computers in Angela and Norma's offices? Is it going to require more personnel to do these specific jobs? I mean,
in some counties, that is the case, where it does require some additional staff to do that. I don't know specifically in your case what additional costs they've looked at. I think they've been looking at some things, but I don't know. I can't predict what those are, and so there's definitely additional work that has to be done because of it. So,
well,
particularly within the assessor's office, who has no role in tax relief at all, and so this would be a whole new area for the trustee's office. There would be additional work that would be similar to tax relief work, but yeah, still some additional work.
well, that kind of flows into my next question in terms of, you can freeze the tax, but the elderly or the people who qualify, and they gotta be 65 years old.
Right.
So it's gonna be the elderly.
And within that income limit.
And within that income level.
Right.
So if you freeze their tax and there's no tax increase for 3 years, there really is no benefit to that at all.
That would be correct.
However-
There's no dollar benefit to them until everybody else's taxes go up.
So I guess my question would be, would it not be better in some ways to do what you had mentioned up there about the counties that say do a matching program? And let's say that right now, I think,
We have 213 elderly.
so you have 213 elderly, and they're already qualifying for the state portion, is that correct?
Right.
And that's what, 173?
$174.
$174 that they get off of their taxes. If we match that $174, it would be better for them than a tax rate. Is that correct? I know you're not.
I'm not here
to
for
say-
better or worse, okay?
Okay.
And so you gotta think about budget ramifications.
I know, that's what,
Those types of things, if you
17,000.
do that. And
Well,
so,
if you, for 213, if you did a VP dollar, which lots of counties do VP dollars, like just a flat amount, very few counties, I think, match dollars for dollar.
okay.
If you did 213 times $50, it'd be $10,650
That we would not collect.
that we would not collect, basically because you'd be given the credit.
So you've been crediting those
Correct.
people.
But
But
would
really,
that not be more benefit to them than a tax freeze?
it's reporting on it, how long it takes for the taxes to go up, if it's 4 years, 5 years, 10, there's no way of knowing.
But what's the percentage of a penny per dollar? Do you remember that? I can't remember. It seemed like a 8-cent tax increase was $50. Was that?
Depends what your price is.
Depends what your price was. Yeah, that was
I have
on a
one.
$200,000
It's not much,
house.
on $200,000.
$200,000 house, if I remember correctly, 8 cents was $50.
I don't think it's that, I don't think,
May not have been that much.
what, a
Was it
$200,000
40?
house?
Because we talked about this back a few months ago. So we'd actually be giving them a better deal by okay, so it'd be 40. If we match 50, we're actually giving them a better deal than we would be to freeze the taxes.
Well, in most, and not everyone on that may have a $200,000 house. I mean, you gotta think if it's it's.
That's correct. So it could
Their
actually
taxes
be
went up
less
less
than
if it was.
$10,000.
One of the older that came in today, their house was $16,000, just get right now.
Yeah. And that $50 would help with that.
Well, actually, their taxes were only 103, so 174 covered the total tax.
Okay, so they had no taxes. Okay, well, good.
But now, if you did some type of match, it could get everyone on tax relief, correct? Would it not help the disabled veterans,
No.
everyone? Or
No,
would
it's
you
only those that
match
are
for the
65 and older.
Only the elderly,
Well,
correct?
the tax freeze only applies
It's
to
only-
the low-income elderly, but if it's a tax relief matching program, then the people that receive tax relief would be eligible for whatever tax relief matching
So
program
it would be.
you might do. In terms of which one would give the homeowner more benefit, it really depends on how much match you might do versus how much of a tax increase there might be down the road. And so it really could wind up either way, depending on.
Well, if you look at it like we did this year, we had an 8-cent tax increase, which is $40 on a $200,000 house. They would have had no tax increase.
They got more, actually. If you did a $50, they would receive more than what their taxes would have been up.
So with this, we're not clear on what our cost is gonna be are you gonna come back to us and say, I gotta have more help, I gotta have more computers, I gotta have all these things? I mean, if we're looking at $20,000 a year to do that, $10,000 to do this, to me, it makes more sense to do the $10,000.
I mean, I wish I could say no, but right now, we barely get the job. I mean, we would probably need more help.
I'll shut up and let y'all debate.
I got a question.
All right.
If you own 50 acres, only the portion that your house is on, there's only a certain amount of that 50 acres gonna be on that, right?
That's correct, yes.
Do we know how much?
Up to 5 acres
Up
can
to
be
5,
frozen,
okay.
but let's say that it's classified as a farm, or it's classified as agricultural in Greenbelt law, something like that, then what you're really gonna have frozen would be your house, and then if you had any, anything that supported that. And then typically, what's called the home site would be the portion of the land that's frozen. In most counties, that's 1 acre, that would be the deal with the house, and then the rest of it typically would be on use value, if say it's agricultural in the green belt, then that other land is getting a lower value because it's a different use, because it's an agricultural use. So in a typical situation like that, you'd have the residents and any outbuildings or other improvements that might support that residential use. And in most cases, 1 acre that's been broken out as a home site to support that residential use, whereas the rest of the land, is probably designated as agricultural.
So it's up to 5 acres, but not guaranteed 5 acres.
Right, that is correct.
Okay.
Who decides whether it's 5 acres or 1 acre or
That's something that would follow,
the assessor?
with the assessor, yes. And that, look at each case, individually, see the facts.
Sir, we appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Office Holden, being here and answer your question, thank you so much. Any action we took on that, you gonna chew it over, or what?
I would like to maybe put you on the agenda for next month or sometime to maybe even look at the relief along with the tax free to see if the parents can find out, are we gonna have to have, $20,000 for their office and new equipment and help? Does that make sense versus, because I mean, I want to help those that are needing it more than, as much as anybody. So can we maybe take this from this month?
Wouldn't it be better to wait during the budget process to see what you're looking? Because you don't know what your finances are gonna be until the budget.
That's a good point too, Jim.
Exactly.
Some kind.
We'll defer till March maybe when we start that process.
Well, you should be starting your budget process before then.
I read that thing, it said March 12th.
Will you make a motion, Tyler?
Yeah, and then do like Jim said, let's come back and put this on the budget committee.
Motion is table, put it on the budget committee, a second, or any again. All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed. Number 9, on the agenda, the county highway department requesting approval for road sign on River Road. You gonna address that, Ron?
Yes. Oh, we got semi trucks using Stone River Road, 40-foot trailers. We got people calling me. We kind of push them up, shove them off the road. They either got to stop or back up. When you go up towards the top of Stone River Road, the curves get so cripply, for a 40-foot trailer, it takes both sides of the road in order to get it up through there. Where you got a car coming down. Well, they either going to have to back up or whatever. And we love to put a sign up at Highway 53 North, 146 Short Mountain, stating no tractor, no semi trucks allowed.
Okay, how's that enforced?
Y'all, as a commission, need to vote on that. Let me put 2 signs up.
Okay, but once them signs are up, if that's what everybody agrees to, what happens if the tractor trailer goes up that road?
Well, 3 years ago, during the winter, we had the road closed. Tractor trailer got hung toward the spring top of the hill. State trooper come in. When he got through with him, he was never to see.
Well,
If there's a wreck there, if they left up to the sheriff's department, state trooper, and the sign's up, stating no semi trucks.
I guess my question would be is if somebody goes up there after we put the signs up and gets hung up and it costs you $5,000 to fix the road or get it up, is that something we can charge them for doing?
Yes. I would say yes.
I make the motion, we put signs up at the end of each road.
I got a motion, put a sign up at the end of each road,
I
I
got a
have a second.
question. I got a question.
Right, can I get a second first? I'll second, Rick Brand, go ahead with that.
Would that only be semis?
Trucks and trailers, yes, semi trucks and trailers. So not box trucks.
Well, what if a tractor trailer with no bed on it come through there? Is that legal?
Well, that's the track.
The tractor itself could,
Bob,
they just can't be pulling that trailer.
What if somebody's logging or something and they're using a tractor trailer?
They ain't got no business on River Road with trailer
I've
pulling
seen
logs.
them come off of it.
That's what we're trying to stop. Me and Wayne had talked about this before, and I'm behind it 100%.
Wednesday, I was there twice, back home, both times, tractor and trailer. One was a lumber truck, one was a box truck.
You know, I don't like it. There's too big of a risk there because of not only them getting hurt, but hurting somebody else.
What's the
make a comment, Mr.
accident deal on it? Don't remember, is it high? I'm sure
One
it
of the
ain't.
highest roads in the county.
Yes.
Wisconsin.
Wayne, I'm 1,000% for it, and will even vote for it, but I've got to ask this question, and I just remember from olden days. When 440 was built in Nashville, they outlawed the 2-trailer semis to be used on that. And of course, the federal government stepped in and said, no, you can't do that because federal funds was used to build the road. Was federal funds used to build that road?
I talked to T-Dot, Mike Cloud, we had a state grant on Stones River Road, 100%.
Yes, sir.
I asked him this information, he said he does not have a problem, it's left up to your commission to make the decision to put the sign up or not put the sign up.
Good deal. Thank you.
His name Mike Cloud, T-Dot.
What about box delivery truck?
That's not a tractor trailer truck.
I know that they can cause the same problem. They're the same width as a semi-trailer.
The wheel thing got him the problem.
Land.
Land is the problem.
I know, but, and some of the trucks are quite long as well.
So you need a max length?
Mr. Chairman, can I make a comment?
Do what now?
It's okay if I make a comment on this? I
That's
think
fine.
what's gonna add clarity to this is we're seeing more and more of an incident with truck drivers following what their GPS is telling them instead of following what the signs say. If there was a sign there telling not to come down this road, even though the GPS was telling them, they're gonna think twice about going down that road. We had a tour bus overturn on a back road because that's where the GPS told them to turn. If there was a sign telling them not to, they can't go down there, I think that's gonna help alleviate a lot of those issues.
Well, that raises another question. What about tour buses? Like, and I'm using them strictly as an example because they're in Woodbury, Estes. Him coming up that road, is that not just the same thing basically as a tractor trailer? I mean, the length of it is just,
Number one, they don't have no business coming that road with a lot of people or empty bus or whatever.
I know, that's kind of what I'm driving at.
I would say that'd be out of off limits too.
There was a tractor trailer that got hung on Wilmington Creek Road.
May I make a suggestion on an amendment to the motion?
Sure.
How about we drop the word semis and put commercial vehicle?
Wasn't that commercial
And
vehicle?
then you get the box
That would
trucks.
get your delivery service.
Can I?
That'll be
say something about
UPS and
that?
everything else.
Hang on. Jay, let's ask Wayne, he's one over there.
That would, yeah, that would get you UPS, because that's commercial.
And how
If
would-
they have, hang on, if they have a delivery and an address on that road, they have a valid reason to be on it. Now, from what I'm understanding, that Wayne's talking there, he's talking about shortcut vehicles that's using it to get from point A to point B faster without having to find the hill.
GPS is what's putting on it. The shortcut through.
Well, I'll play devil's advocate with that too, and you brought that subject up. Where I work with Yellow Freight, if they had a city truck, if they had a resident number and they drive tractor trailers, that tractor trailer's gonna go to that resident, unless it's marked. Now, what they do, if they're in a place where they're restricted, they call the people that they've got the freight for, and wherever they're at, they tell them, come pick them up. So,
Offload where they are.
right.
Jay, now that's, I'm sorry, public comment. It's
Well, I
over.
was just gonna say,
It's over right now, Jay,
Okay.
I'm sorry. That, no, don't mean any disrespect.
I understand, but-
It's just, that, it's just, it's over.
What about we do links then?
What's that?
Jay, Jay, appreciate it.
I was just telling
I
you, so you
understand,
could
but it's my job to keep over.
What if we did trailers over X amount of length? I don't know, I'm gonna leave it to you to word it, I just make the motion if we put something up there to stop it, because it's getting out of hand, because there'll be 2 or 3 wrecks on that road a week, or somebody's done something like that, you know, or run off something, or dropped off something because they're hauling a 48-foot or a 53-foot trailer.
Anybody else?
For the most imminent danger to their semis. They perceive, forecast the most problems. Kind of what I'm.
What's giving you the most problem, right, is the semis, ain't it?
Yes. 40-foot trailer.
Got a motion? motion on the floor. Put that as a second. We can have a call, vote.
Janine Floyd,
Yes.
Russell Reed,
Yes.
Corey Edgeworth.
Yes.
Karen Ashford. Yes. Jim Bush.
Yes.
Greg Mitchell.
Yes.
Brent Brandon.
Yes.
Randy Gannon.
Yes.
Ronnie Mahaffey.
Yes.
9-4, motion carried.
Number 10. On the agenda, 911 Director Roy Sullivan, about the resolution, private lane change laws. Roll.
First item I have on the agenda is a resolution. Should have that in the packet.
On the 911 fee.
Yes, sir. Give some history on the 911 surcharge rate in Cannon County. State adopted, the General Assembly adopted being able to have a 911 surcharge on 911 lines up to $1.50 if the county so chose to raise that. At that time, it was 65 cents. 2007, my first job after I was appointed was to raise that rate to the maximum of $1.50, and that's what we did. It brought in roughly an extra $60,000 in revenue for 911. That's been maxed out until 2014, when we combined the 911 surcharge rate into a uniform rate structure, because what was happening was that was based on the landline surcharge rate. Cell phones were $1 at the time, and nobody had a cell phone at the time, so it didn't affect that. Well, once cell phones started taking over, we started losing about 11% a year with 911 surcharge on landlines. So when TN 911 drafted legislation to make a uniform rate of $1.16, the state board supported it, and it was eventually adopted by the General Assembly, because cell phone surcharge was controlled by the state, not county government, so we had no control over that. So it took a change in legislation to be able to change that and make it more uniform. So there have been numerous times they've asked about increasing the rate to a more suitable amount, and of course nobody wants an increase in a rate. So what we have done through TN 911 is asked our legislators to just restore the rate to what it was already approved back in 1998. So we drafted this resolution, presented to the State 911 Board. They approved that back in August. We have about 9% support statewide. So in showing that support, we're drafting a resolution to be able to present to our state senator and local representative to support this in the General Assembly next month. The 911 Board of Directors has already voted on this unanimously to support this measure. And we would like to have the support of the County Commission also to support this endeavor. How this affects county government is 911's goal is to try to find different ways of bringing in increased revenue without asking for additional increase from county government. So this is one of the things that we've come up with to be able to bring in an estimated $80,000 if this is approved with the General Assembly next month. Our goal is to not have to ask county government for an increase at all. And this is going to be the first step in that. This doesn't, like I said, this is just asked for support from county government, ask Senator, local representative to support this in the General Assembly next month. So it's pretty clear in the resolution what we're asking for and the history on it. But I would like to ask this commission for their support.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution. Motion to adopt the resolution. Second by Brent Brandon, discussion.
Lord, the $1.50 you're asking for applies to all phones, correct?
Yes, across the
Landline
board.
and cell phone.
Yes,
It's a combination of both landline and cell, correct?
yeah, when we changed the legislation in 2014, that made it uniform across the board because there was different surcharge rates between landlines and cell phones. That's one of the things that changed the legislation did to make it uniform.
You did have $1.50 and $1, correct?
$1.50 and $1.
And now you just have the $1.16 and it combines both?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And they refer to it as base funding, it's just a uniform formula across the board instead of having two separate rates. And that did help some, but it's still not enough to, what we feel, for the increase in appreciation in 911 operations.
Anybody?
Got a motion to accept the resolution, is there a second? Call the roll.
Janine Floyd.
Can I just ask you one more question before I go here? So, my thought is, if you get this increase